Hey, and welcome to Recreate's Creative Shed. We've upgraded in the light of the current situation of COVID-19. So now you will find me working in my shed, in my back garden, and I've put together a set, brand new set all again. So we've had three office costume changes in the last 3 weeks. Anyway, in the last video, I mentioned that we were going to do some making games and stuff like that. So I've had a little bit of time to think and also to gather materials from at home, and I started looking at all the kind of things I throw away a lot. So like tubes and lids and other things like that. Now, luckily, I have a small abundance of Recreate materials at home. So I put some together over here, just so I have them to hand. And so, yeah, games. So I had some, when I was making the studio space, I noticed that I had some tubes, and I thought, what better way to do than maybe to make a kind of a ring toss or maybe a coconut shy or something like that. I did cut this down already because our videos are only short, so I've saved a little bit of time, and I do have the luxury of using one of these little guys. Now, if you're at home, you could potentially use, if you have a serrated edge knife, that would work as well, or a scalpel. Now, this tube is quite thick, but if you were looking at the likes of, say, it's something that's inside a wrapping paper, this is a little bit softer, so you probably could squash it down and cut it with scissors. So I had a few different sizes and stuff, and also because we're getting deliveries and things like that rather than going out to the shops, or you might have some cardboard at home. Even in the last video where we made the little theatre set out of the vegetable boxes from one of the supermarkets for collecting your food when you're going around, you could use the base of that, and I know sometimes they do have holes in already. So I actually have this large piece of card here, which I was going to use. And I'm going to cut this in half because I think it's a little bit too big. Also, I haven't actually made one of these yet, and this is a little bit like most of the way I work, trial and error. So what I mean by that is you try it, you test it. If it doesn't work, you think of something else. So with this one now, I'm going to cut it down. So I don't think we need the whole of the width of it. And I've got a nice crease that I've already got in the card already. So I'm just going to chop this down. Mind your fingers if you're using knives and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm hoping that you're making stuff together as a family, so we don't need to do the health and safety warnings every time. Yeah, so like I said, I've been kind of looking at different things around the house, and I've noticed that I have a lot of egg boxes. I have a lot of lids, and this is all inspiring me for other games that we could potentially play. I also have a small child as well, and she loves playing games. Even like we have a tube that she climbs in and out of, but we have a bit of a mess with that. And we've been doing a lot of painting and collaging. I've got a few pieces on the side here that she's done herself. So let me see. So I tell you what I'm doing now is I had a big tube, big long tube, and I just cut them down to different sizes to make the challenge of getting the ring over a little bit more difficult. I should probably have them quite well spaced out, I would imagine. And how many have I got here? I've got 5 here, so I need 5 holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw around the base of these 5 holes. Another one over here, that's 3 big ones, and then another small one. So I'll put a small one over here like this. Kind of almost, I've set it up like a kind of bowling alley, where you have the 3 at the back, then 2, then a 1. And if you're doing 5-pin bowling or 6-pin bowling. Now what I'm going to do is just chop in there. Now I am going to use my scalpel for this, and I will show you this. I'm going to go across the centre, so from top to bottom, from 12 to 6 o'clock, and then I'm going to go from 3 to 9, like that. And the reason I'm doing this is so I can pop this inside and try and tape it from the inside, or glue it even. Did I turn my glue gun on, actually? No, I did not. Okay, let's try that again. I might even go, 2 to 7 or 1 to 7? Dividing it up like a pizza box. Like a pizza when you're cutting a pizza up to share. It's also good if you're doing some maths. You're cutting it up into 8s there, so you can do some fractions. And then I'm just going to bend those up, beep, beep, like that. Okay. Right, now the other thing is, while I'm doing this, maybe I should be thinking about what I'm going to make out of the rings. Okay, so we've got that kind of carry on going on there, okay? And then I'm going to stick that over the top. Come back, no, come back! Sellotape and tubing, goodbye. And then I'm going to sellotape inside there. But what I might actually do is run a little bit of my glue gun, which is probably not hot enough yet. No, of course not. Run a little bit of the glue gun around there, and then from the other side, just push those bits up, and it should be stuck like that. So that's your base for throwing your rings onto. What are you going to make the rings out of? So once again, any card that you might have at home. I was having a conversation with a family member yesterday who told me they had no card, and I said, go and look in your cupboards and presses in the kitchen and then tell me there is no card there. And they wanted to make a birthday card, and I wasn't letting them away with having any excuses. Now, once again, I love this gold and silver card that we have that came from, let's just see, you can make them different sizes. So maybe each ring has a different number attached. So maybe this is, because it's quite big, we know we'll get it over that. That could be 5 points. If it was slightly smaller, trying to get it over that, that might be 10 points. And also maybe how hard is it to get it on the top one? Maybe this is only worth 1 point because it's easier. I don't know. This is another thing where you have to try and test it. So now the land of rubbish staplers. I think these staplers are woohoo, magic. So as you can tell, I'm actually on my own today, which is a blessing in disguise, and also it does make me worry slightly that I might go on rambling for a long extended period of time. And just when I said my stapler worked, no, it's not working, but we get the idea. I managed to get 2 in. Sorry, 1. Okay, so then you're going to have it a distance apart. Let's go with 2 meters, which is wrong with the theme that we're all kind of, adjusting to as well. And so that's one of the rings. Now what you could do is you could use card from home, like I said. You could bunch up paper into a ring. Let me try it. Bunch up paper into a ring. That does go a long way. Okay. Newspaper. Now maybe you'll need a few of these. Maybe if you have a wire curtain at home as well, maybe like a curtain, what am I saying? A coat hanger, a metal coat hanger. You could, my tape's just done a legger, so I was going to use masking tape because I have an abundance of rubbish masking tape here. So yeah, you could just run sellotape all the way around, giving it a really, really good mash. And oh no, heaven forbid, we're doing circles again. I promised I would do no more circles because we all had our fill of them. So okay, so there we go. You get the idea. So you could make a ring out of newspaper. I haven't done it all the way around just for time's sake. So there you go. You've got plenty to get on with. First of all, looking for a tubing. You might get creative and use something else. If you think of something else at home, let us know. Maybe the little noses in egg boxes, you could use those really low little ones down there. It's almost like an obstacle course as well. And then you can figure out how you're going to make your rings as your coconut shy ring toss things. So I'm going to leave you with that. We are going to be doing games again because once the ball starts rolling, I tend to get a bit carried away. So we're going to do another game afterwards. I'll leave it at that. Please keep sharing with us, and we hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll be talking to you soon. Okay, thank you.